Hello there, fellow theme park fans. It's Maria coming to you with yet another video. If you couldn't tell by my backdrop, I'm in Epcot. It's the Flower and Garden Festival. It's looking super bright and pretty behind me. And I'm back at the Flower and Garden Festival because I want to check out their Garden Graze. I'm really excited about the Garden Graze because the one that they had during the Festival of the Arts and the Festival of the Holidays both had meat options on the list. And this one is fully vegetarian, fully plant-based. So I can't wait because I'm actually able to try every single item that's on the list. So I'm about to go taste my first item from Flavorful Kitchen, and I'll catch up with you when I get there. Flavorful Kitchen. Now the cool thing about Flavorful Kitchen is it's completely surrounded by the Healthful Trail, which features different fruits, different vegetables, and a lot of different flowers that are growing, as well as a vegetable grill that operates during the daytime. So I'm excited to try this one. It's roasted vegetables with hummus, and that sounds absolutely fabulous to me. So I'm gonna go grab it and meet you back at the table. Here are the grilled baby vegetables with hummus cream. They actually had these vegetables on a skewer. So I guess they grilled them on a skewer on the grill and they just slid them off on top of a piece of eggplant that's underneath there. And that's stacked on top of the hummus. I'm gonna dig in while it's hopefully still warm. Okay, so I've tried the baby vegetables over hummus and I give it 2 thumbs up. First thing I will say about it, it is simple food done very well. It is nothing that is off the wall, nothing crazy. It is literally what it says. It is grilled vegetables over hummus, and it's done really well. There's a really salty herbiness kind of sprinkled over the top of the vegetables that give it a nice flavor profile, and I like the way the vegetables are cooked because they're not soggy. You can cut through them and they have a little bit of give to them, so when you dip them through the hummus, they hold up to the actual weight of the hummus that you're scooping onto them. And I thought that the vegetables being served warm with the hummus being kind of a room temperature was a really nice contrast. And I really do think a kid would enjoy this dish. If you have a kid that likes vegetables of any kind, I do think they would really like it. Because like I said, it's simple, but it's very good. Would I get it again? Yeah, if I wanted something light when I was walking through the festival, I definitely would get it again. Pretty good, 2 thumbs up so far. Let's keep going. Inside of the 2021 Flower and Garden Festival booklets that you can pick up at any of the food booths, the back, you'll find the Garden Graze. That's what I'm doing today. So I'm probably going to go in order, maybe not, maybe I'll spice it up a bit. But these are the items: grilled baby vegetables, boneless impossible Korean short rib, which I'm really excited about, pineapple skewer, potato pancakes with applesauce, and a lemon cake to finish it out. They stamp each of the items. There is my first stamp. Once I get all of the items, I get a free complimentary item at the end. I'm out here on World Showcase Lagoon to give you a look at the Harmonious barges. They've made their way out to the center of the lagoon, and every time I come to Epcot, it seems like they're getting closer and closer and closer to the promenade, which is cool because you can really see just how gigantic these barges really are. They're huge. There are the Epcot Harmonious barges, and there is my Korean short rib. Now, like I mentioned earlier, everything on this little Garden Graze that I'm doing today is plant-based. So what's in this is an impossible Korean short rib with cilantro lime rice, with a vegan mayonnaise, and some veggie slaw around it, and it smells really good, and I'm really excited to taste it. This Korean short rib, yeah, it's doing it for me. It's really good. It's definitely impossible meat. I'm here with Mike. He says that the texture, yeah, you can definitely tell it's impossible. I think it tastes like impossible meat, but not in a bad way at all. You can just tell it's made by Impossible. The glaze on the outside of the short rib is unbelievably good. It's slightly sweet, but not sweet at all, that it will overpower the dish with a sweet flavor, but it really contrasts the kind of almost greasy texture that they get really close to meat in this dish. This rice is actually like traditional Asian sticky rice. It's got that traditional texture, and it does not have an overpowering cilantro flavor. It says it's cilantro lime. It kind of just tastes like white rice to me, which I'm totally okay with because the pickled slaw that's on the side and the grilled veggie that it comes with, all together, I don't think it needs any extra flavor, and I really don't like cilantro anyway, so it's good to me that it's just kind of a nice base of rice. And when you take a bite of all of it together, you get the crunch from the pickled veggies, which are okay. I don't love pickled things, but these aren't overly pickled. So when you eat it together with everything else, it actually provides a really nice texture contrast to the softer short rib. And overall, this is really tasty. As someone who does not eat meat, this is a fantastic substitute that I genuinely think Even if you aren't a vegetarian, I really think you'll like this because it is so packed with flavor, and that sauce on the Korean short rib is so good that I definitely recommend getting it. The Garden Graze allows you to make a full loop around Epcot. If you start out in Future World, where I started with the vegetables, and turn towards Mexico, next up after the short rib will be this pineapple skewer with tahini seasoning at $4.75. That seems a bit expensive to me for a skewer of pineapple, but I'm going in with an open mind. This pineapple skewer thing, let's talk about it. First thing I will say is, for $4.75, I was right with what I said earlier. I do think it is a little bit expensive for how big it is and for what it is. So take that for what it's worth. It is a pineapple skewer with tahini, I'm not sure how you say it, seasoning on it. I've never had it before, so I actually looked it up because there's a lot of flavors going on if you've never had it before. It's kind of a surprising flavor. So what it is a classic seasoning. It is a unique chili lime blend with mild chili peppers, lime, and sea salt. It is definitely salty. So the way I will describe it is when you first taste it, you get that chili flavor. It definitely comes through. Then as you bite into the pineapple, the sweet pineapple comes through, and it is a very, very fresh piece of pineapple. At first looking at it, I thought it might be like from a can. I don't think it is. I definitely think it's fresh, and it's really in season. It's really ripe. So I can't knock the actual pineapple because it's a very, very good piece of pineapple. And then after you swallow it, it tastes salty. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't think I'd get it again. Pineapple skewer. Epcot is actually open until 11 p.m. on the day that I'm visiting. It is a weekend, it's a Sunday, and it is one of the 3 weeks, that spring break, Easter, all meshed together, where the parks are open a lot later. And crowds are supposedly a lot higher, but what I've been seeing so far today, really not too bad in Epcot. Yeah, there are people, and you've had to wait in about a 2-3 person line at every booth, but you can judge for yourself. But to me, it does not feel super crowded here today. Here's a look at the Bowen Market menu. I'm getting the top item, the potato pancake with house-made applesauce. You can also get it with ham, onions, and sour cream. They also have this back before I stopped eating meat. That's a really good, really kid-friendly item. If you're here with a kid, I highly recommend that pretzel, ham, and cheese. Let's see what you got, Bowen Market. Here we go, the potato pancakes. They come with the applesauce right on top of them. You get 2 for $4.50. Now, I don't think that is a bad price. It smells pretty good. I'm a little bit scared that it's gonna taste like onions. That's a personal thing. I don't really like onions, but the other option said it had onions in it, so I'm really hoping this one doesn't. Let's see. All right, Germany. That's a pretty decent potato pancake. It's very potatoey. Very potatoey. It's not very crispy. You can tell that they browned the outside, and I don't know if it's been just made or if it's just not crispy, but the outside's not super crispy. The whole thing is very soft. They actually didn't have any forks, so I'm eating it with a spoon, and I'm able to just cut right through it with the spoon. It's a nice thick amount of potatoes, and I really like that about it. They did do me a little bit dirty. There are onions in it, but it's not super overpowering. So if you're like me and don't like onions, I like really hate onions. Anyone who knows me will tell you I do not like onions, and I'm actually eating this. It's okay. They're in there, but the applesauce, let me tell you, man, that is a really nice compliment to the potato pancake, and it cuts through the onion flavor for me. So it's not my favorite thing I've had so far today, but the cinnamon applesauce with the potatoes, I would not think that would be a good combination. I know it's a classic one. I've never had the two flavors together, and I'm definitely into it. It's very cinnamony applesauce that's on it, and I actually think it's pretty good. I really like the dense potato bite that you get when you bite into this one. So again, not my favorite thing, but I think a kid would probably enjoy this. It's pretty basic, but still packs some pretty good potato-y flavor. So something neat about the Garden Graze is, let's say you hit those Korean short ribs first, and you absolutely loved the Korean short ribs, and you wanted to come back 5 times and get 5 Korean short ribs. You can get 5 stamps in your booklet. It doesn't matter that they have to be all the 5 different items. You can get as many of any single item as you want, and that still counts to get you the free item at the end. So I think that's really cool. If you have a favorite, feel free to keep going back for it. And I want to say hey to Lady and the Tramp before we keep walking here. It is the Flower and Garden Festival after all. Here it is, the final item of the Garden Graze. It is a lemon cake with fig compote on top, and it's sitting on top of sangria gel, which is really interesting. Non-alcoholic, kids can definitely eat this, and it's got an edible flour. So I'm gonna try this, see what it's all about, tell you what I think about it, and I'm gonna give you my final ranking from 5 to 1 of the items that I tried at the Garden Graze. Morocco! They Morocced that cake. It's a reference to one of the old shows that used to be here in the Morocco Pavilion. If you're a diehard Disney fan, you would get that. This cake's really good. I can best equate it to a really dense, really thick lemon pound cake, but more cake-like and just dense than a lemon pound cake. And let me tell you, it is lemon packed. If you are someone who likes lemon, it is very lemony. It really hits you with that lemon flavor in a really, really good way. The fig compote on top is very fresh. It tastes just like figs, like the center of a fig Newton, just, you know, with more seeds and fresher. I actually prefer just the cake on its own because I don't want anything to mask the flavor of that amazing lemon cake. I really, really think the cake's really tasty. But overall, the sangria gel adds a little bit of a sweetness, so it makes the whole thing a lot sweeter, as does the fig compote. And the fig compote gives it kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to say juicy because it's not juicy, but a different texture to kind of combat the dry lemon cake. But it's dry in a very good way, and I very much enjoy this cake. So, let's get into the ranking here. From 5 to 1, I'm going to rank all of the items that I've just tasted. I'm going to give the potato pancakes the 5 spot. They weren't that hot when I got them, and I thought the outside was going to be a little crispier than it was, although the potato bite was very good. Unfortunately, they fell at number 5. A very close 4, though, is the pineapple skewer. The pineapple was very fresh. If it had been 90 degrees, I maybe would have enjoyed that a lot more. It's definitely a refreshing item, but I don't know that it's worth $4.75. It was tasty and good. Tahine, still don't know how to say it, was interesting on there, but it wasn't my favorite thing. The number 3 item on the list, I'm going to give it to the Korean short ribs. For me, they fall at the number 3 spot, but by like barely. I almost want to tie them at 2. If I could tie the second spot, I would tie the Korean short rib and the lemon pound cake. It's my video. I can tie number 2. They're tied at number 2. Who am I kidding? Lemon pound cake, I'm saying it's pound cake. It's not pound cake, but it tastes just like it, from Morocco, and the Korean short ribs. Both absolutely fantastic items. I highly recommend getting both of them. I think that they're both really good. And my number 1 is that baby vegetable plate. I am a sucker for a well-done, simple vegetable dish. Believe it or not, vegetables are not easy to do well. And when you get a really good, simply made vegetable dish, there's kind of really nothing like that. It was really top quality hummus, top quality vegetables. They were cooked really well, and I liked the seasoning on top of them. So that is my ranking from 5 to 1. It's a tie at the second spot. There are all 5 of my stamps from the 5 different items that I got, and that middle spot is reserved for the surprise item, which I know is a mango Dole Whip in a souvenir little cup. I'm not going to get it today. It's actually pretty chilly today, but that's another really cool thing about the Garden Graze is you can do this incrementally. You can get one item one day, get another item another day, get your free item another time. That's a really great thing about it. So I'm going to save my booklet, and when I'm back here on a really warm day, I'm going to get it. I want to thank you all for joining me on the Garden Graze today, and I'll see you in the parks. And if you ever see me in the parks, please come over and say hi. I would love to meet you. Come on over. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. I'll see you in the parks, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for the latest video releases. When you're ready to return to the magic, I'd love to help you get here. Contact me at msalerno@mickeitravels.com. All my services from quote to final booking are always free. See you in the parks!